Now then, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft 1.14.4, all the mods for with Nemsun. We're in update 0.2.3.Nemsuns. Modded changed it around a little bit. There's a few things I changed for the update, which we went through in the last episode. So if you didn't catch that, go back, check out the last episode. Since then, I've removed portality completely. It wouldn't update. I removed it from the pack. I reloaded my world. I then saved the world and then added the new version of portality, and it crashed the system. So went back to not having portality. If it's not going to work and it won't update this version to stay in my current world, then, well, I'll just have to manage without portality, won't I? As you can see behind me, I've done a bit of work around the workshop. Just pottering around, really, just messing about, having a look around. I started with these white, structures. I was trying to figure out what space I was going to have in this area. So I've got a little area down here where I can come in behind. Yeah, that's nothing special. A side wall. Two main, functionary walls where I access things. And another side wall. And I did that on all four. It's been through different types of iterations of it. I've done it a few different ways, a few different styles, and this is kind of the style that I've ended up with. Came up with doing the project benches around the bottom because they look nice and it's functional. Not only is it another storage location technically, but I can also store and craft and make projects work within their sub-projects as part of bigger projects, so that I can keep track of where things are and then put things all away in the system afterwards. Yeah, like getting the anvil. And the more I look at it, the more it's supposed to be not storage. The more it's supposed to be machines that do things. And I come along and go, right, I need this doing. So let's get some iron. Well, the iron should actually process itself, to be fair. Let's get some stuff made. Let's get some alloys smelted or whatever. And I also then started putting some storage in just because it makes sense. How that storage is going to link up to the whole system, I don't yet know. But maybe doing a bit of RF tools storage might help me out. I've made an RF tools RF producer and stuck some coal in it, so we've got some RF if we need RF for anything during today's episode. Yeah, and I think it's just been a lot of tidying up and messing about. Let's just quickly do this, right? This is going to be engraved with one iron ingot, and it's going to be Mr. Fisk, not Tisk, Fisk. I nearly did Mr. Tisk. Mr. Fisk, engraved Mr. Frisk. Okay, and that is now going to give us the another gravestone that we need in our getting around places. Let's put this back away in there. So when we run out of things, ouch. Good job I got feather falling. This over here, these teleporters. When I run out of one, I can start the next one and so on. So this is good for now. I think my recall to here at the minute is Wimping Ego. So I reappear here when I teleport back using the stone here. Let's put Mr. Fisk on that one. I've tried a different type of gravestone again. Look, died on the 27th of November. Oh, R.I.P. Mr. Fisk. Thank you very much for your comments. Right, and then we've got these. So these books of disenchant, you're supposed to click on. Need an item in my offhand. Oh, okay. You're supposed. I thought you were supposed to just click them on and then take that as a disenchant, and then not worry about that. But it's a good job I didn't have anything in my offhand, isn't it? Right. So let's get up there then. Oh, up. No. Oh, this backpack. I should really just use the stairs, shouldn't I? I'm just being lazy. Right, let's get downstairs. Now I've just jumped upstairs. I can get downstairs again. I moved all of the mob drops over to this side over here. Put them in there. Into here. Okay, so any enchantments that I actually want, I'm supposed to be able to use this book of disenchant, am I? The recipe for this book of disenchant was a couple of grave dust, a book, and some lapis. So not too bad, but it does mean I can get this stuff off here. Does it take the whole lot? We're about to find out. Fire protection, no. Protection, protection. Unbreaking, protection 5. Let's try this one. Well, we should try 3 things, I suppose, shouldn't we? Blast protection, unbreaking protection. Yeah. Is there any enchanted items that I actually want? Unbreaking, feather falling, projectile protection. There's not really, is there? I mean, I could try and take it off one of these, I suppose. This is sharpness unbreaking, efficiency unbreaking. Let's just try and take that off there. I don't know why I would want to, but I'm going to just to test this out. And I think I'll leave the 3rd book, so we've got a spare book. I think that's going to be the thing. Leave the 3rd. Have a spare. Turn the jetpack on properly. It's now raining. It's raining. But we're here. We're good. Right, so. Offhand, these leggings. These have protection 4, unbreaking 4. Let's see. Can it work? Yes, it can. So we've got the protection 4 off it. Still got unbreaking. Okay, so I can do the same thing again to get unbreaking. Oh, which way around did it go? It was protection, then unbreaking, wasn't it? This one's sharpness, then unbreaking. Let's see if we can do sharpness. So now we've got sharpness 3, yeah. So sharpness and unbreaking was the thing. That's good, that's good. Okay, and now if we do this on this final grave, then we should get unbreaking on that. Yeah, and it's got a little tooltip now to tell us how many different things you can put it on. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I like. Excellent. Okay, so that's how those books work. This tablet I've got to use when I get over to the end stronghold, like i.e. not right now, and set up another teleport from there. But that's good. I like that. Okay, so let's put this in here for now. I know where it is. I know where I'm going to get it from. I'll put it back when I need it. Or when I don't need it, it's in there. When I do need it, I know where it is. Okay, so what else is going on around here? So RF tools was another thing that I wanted to have a go at today. RF tools. RF tools have teleporters, but I didn't really want to do the matter transport teleporter thing. I didn't really want to do matter transport, matter receivers, and teleporters. The main thing that I like RF tools for, I like those. They're really good for a high-powered teleporter. But I'm quite happy using the low-powered tombstones teleporters for now, right? Because it's a bit more fun. And less costly in power, I suppose. Yeah. But I do want to use the quarry card, even though the turtles are really cool. I still want a quarry card, so a builder will be necessary. And on top of the builder, we're going to also need storage, modular storage. There we go, modular storage device. So we've got a few bits and pieces to gather up there as well. Crafters are okay, but I don't need any crafters right now. The tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 crafters are all fairly simple to make and do a good job, but I don't need them right now. The tank is what we used last time. So overall, it's just a few bits and pieces that we're going to need to get and create. And I will figure out what it is we're short on and set up a project table to make a level 4 now. I thought it was only ever level 3. Well, level 3 is gold. Level 2's not much gold. Level 3 is good for gold then. That's good, yeah. And there's also a storage scanner, which allows me to access all the other storage around the area as well, which is quite nice and useful. Will help in sorting out a lot of the mess that I've got going on downstairs here. I'm flying still. This is good. It's functional. It looks cool, but it's not doing any actual moving around. With these particular pipes from Storage Network, Storage Network doesn't seem to be doing such a great job of storing everything properly. So I kind of want to move everything into a proper storage system. And the RF tools storage is pretty cool. The other thing we've got available to us is the refined storage. Refined storage. Let's type it all in so we get rid of the refined relocation. Okay, it doesn't like that. So let's stick to refined. Refined storage. Get you off there. Refined storage. I've never used refined storage. I've always used applied energistics. Refined storage is great in the fact that it's like the old the old applied energistics, as I remember. So it's very simple with storage cables and the like. Storage cables with quartz enriched iron. Quartz enriched iron. That's pretty expensive, but at least I don't have to go like making little processors and things. These are fairly simple. Processor binding. A bit of slime ball makes a few. I think I've got plenty of that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we've got bits and pieces in here that I also want to make to try and upgrade my network. This storage network here, we've used it for long enough. It's kind of like early tier, and it's been working okay, but now we're getting into these tight, compact areas where I want to move liquids around, and I want to move items into storage containers, and I want to be able to access all of these workbenches and things like that as well. Because I want all of that, all of those things, I need to set up a new system that's going to be slightly more technologically advanced. Alright, so let's see what we can do to get started. To start out with, all of this stuff, lots and lots of stuff. A controller is the first thing we need. And controller, quartz enriched iron, silicon, advanced processor, and machine casing. All things you've got to make from scratch. The machine casing, more quartz enriched iron. Quartz enriched iron is iron and quartz. Makes 4. Look at that. So, iron and quartz makes 4. That's what we got there. In order to make the machine casing, we need to put some stone in the middle. That's easy. Okay, we're going to make a machine casing. Then the silicon is quartz smelted. So I smelted some quartz. Let me get some quartz from here. Smelted some quartz. Put that in there. And then we've got this advanced processor, which is a raw advanced processor cooked. And that's a diamond, processor binding, silicon, and redstone, which we've got in here. There we go. So diamond, processing binding. Processing binding was just string and slime balls to make processing binding. And then you make that. And then you go and stick that in a furnace. This furnace works really nice with this diesel generator. I'm using hardly any diesel really to maintain quite a lot of forge energy. So that's looking pretty good. And then that would go into this one here. Yeah. So that we can make the controller. Okay, so we have a controller. Now the controller requires FE. I don't know if FE is also RF, because this is an old RF generator. Well, it's a coal generator that's supposed to generate RF. So let's put that on. Let's put it on this side. Right. It seems to be yes. So RF can convert to forge energy, which makes absolute sense, as Forge want to make it as easy as possible to transfer energy from other mods into its own energy. That's great. So we've now got a controller with Forge energy installed, looking identical to applied energistics. Should have copyrighted that kind of texture, but nope, did not. Right, so that's that controller done. Next, we're going to need a disk drive. The disk drive needs another one of those advanced processor and a chest. So we're going to need another one of those. So another one of those from there. Cook that up, and we're going to need a chest to make a disk drive. Now the disk drive probably doesn't need to be made. You can use other storage items as well, other storage locations. You don't need to make it out of a disk drive, but disk drive's just the most practical. I can still connect the system to other things. I want to go in this one, don't we? Yeah. So the disk drive as such, machine casing. Let's make another one quickly. And then make a disk drive. Okay. Now, I don't need to put the disk drive here connected to it. I could use cables to connect it to anywhere. I could bring it around the back here and put a disk drive here and connect it to the power supply and then store my disks separately. But I don't mind having the discs on show. It makes the place look cool. So we're going to have a disk drive on show there. The disk drive now should be linked into here to say that it's got power, which is good. And then we need a storage drive. A storage disk to go into the disk drive. A storage disk requires a storage part, some redstone, some glass, and some quartz-enriched iron. That requires some quartz, silicon, redstone, and glass. So we've got the redstone and the quartz. Take that across to here, and we should have everything we need in here to make it. Let's see. Yep. So we make one of those, and then we put that together with some more glass and some more redstone, some more quartz enriched. Yep. It's a lot simpler than Applied Energistics ever was. That's for sure. Right, so now we've got a drive with one little thing sticking out. One little disk in the drive, right? So obviously that's 8 drives that we've got space for there, right? Now, the network-wise, this is still an individual network. There is no more network than this right now. Those 2 blocks are connected. So we need to connect some more stuff to it. And that's going to be a cable and the like. We need a... Where's the grid gone? I thought I'd stored grid there. Clearly I'd not. Okay, so a grid, pattern grid, fluid grid, grid. So we need a grid. A grid is a machine casing, some quartz, some improved processors, and some destruction cores. Right, so this is what we're doing next. So the machine casing, the quartz we know, the construction core is one of these basic processors. Basic processors are this. So have we got all the bits and pieces we need for that? If we do iron, can we do basic processor for that? No, we need that green stuff. Yeah, the processor binding for this. And we're going to need quite a few of these. So let's make 16. Then we're making the most of... I don't know. I'm thinking we're making the most of coal, but it's not really that super efficient, is it? The diesel just burns when we need to replace it, and it makes these basic processors as we go. How many basic processors did I need for this? 4. So once we get to 4, I can start making the other individual component parts and let the rest just cook for a few minutes while I'm waiting, or while I'm doing that. Okay. So then we're going to go with one of these, which gives nether quartz. Basic processor. I've got to cook the basic processors as well. Are they all the same thing? Oh, that's gold for that one. And that one, add a bit of glowstone. Okay, so I need 1 construction core, don't I? 1 construction core, 1 destruction core, which is basic processor and nether quartz. So I've only got to cook it once at the moment. Let's cook it in this one. Oh, wait a minute. I've cooked it all in there. Cook it once in that one, right? And then we get to have an construction core like that. That's that one, yeah. And a destruction core needs that. So we go like that one. That's one of each of those. And then this section here was slightly different. I didn't realize. The improved processor requires gold as part of that setup, not the other, not the iron. I've just happened to have 2. Let's put some gold dust through the process here as well. Let's put that in there. I want to put 1 in there for now as well. There we go. Get another couple, so we can make some more of this. There we go. And then take these ones out, so I've got them for spares later. So that requires all of that. Let's make a couple of those and cook them up quickly. So I think I only needed 2 for the thing. 2 for this, didn't I? Yeah, 2 of those, some of that, some glass. Should be great. I do want these grids elsewhere as well. Like, almost on every side, a grid connected to the whole system would be great. But for now, we've got enough space here going between the 2 things. We don't need to go everywhere and do everything all in one go. All in one episode. I've got the glass in this one. Okay, make a grid. Can do it. No, I'm missing that. Let's make 1 of those. And then 1 of those. Excellent. So now the grid should connect to here. And that is now at eye level. We've got the same colour scheme going on, and we've got a grid of everything that should technically be in this storage. At the minute, you can see stored 0 of 1000. When I put something like these processors and the silicon in there, there's now 18 of 1000, 18k of items in that storage grid. Storage grid's pretty big, isn't it? Only craftables, normal size. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Small, medium, and large. Let's keep it at large for now. Large is decent, but there's no crafting on there, so it's just storing all of these goodie things. All of these things that are nice things that we want to keep are getting stored in there. So let's put some enriched iron. So everything that is related to refined storage currently in this grid, so I can access it, pull it out instead of having to run over to the main storage. That's the idea for now of this section. What I want to do also though is get some cables. So we're going to need some redstone and some glass into this area, and that refined quartz with some redstone and some glass. Yeah, into this one. Make some cables so that we can then transfer items around the base using cables. And an importer-exporter. Importer into the system requires destruction cores and improved processors. Okay, and exporters, construction cores and improved processors. So this is kind of what we want to do now to take from this system. Anything that gets put into the system by mistake, or anything that I don't want, can come down into the storage here. I've got the jetpack on. So instead of having this kind of storage connected to inputting or exporting to here, we will end up having just like kind of that access. I don't mind having the access running through, because these pipes are really cheap and they don't require any power. But this section here, pumping them out, isn't working. Exporting them out isn't working. Accessing them through that is great. Trying to export to sort it out into this storage is not working for me there. So we want to get rid of those and start bringing that down. Which means we're going to have another row available from wherever it is down here, coming through to each of these places, to have an import-export, or have an export at least, going through here. And then I want one of the other storage things just to kind of pick up all of the stuff that's starting to get stuck in all of these places, filling all of this lot up, to try and figure out my storage solutions. I don't mind having these because they are cheaper than making disks and drives, and they look cool, and they seem to work with different systems. But what I don't want, I kind of want this to be like standard stuff, and then everything else gets put into another setup altogether, another system. A random storage system, as it were. And then this crafting grid here is still very useful and still very good, still very accurate for bulky things that aren't necessarily related to a different mod. And then individual mods can have all of their stuff put into separate grids on their counter, as it were, so that I can then process and craft and create in and around that region with each of those. The problem here is that you can probably only have one controller per setup. So as this is the refined storage setup over here, this controller is the controller for the whole base. But I think that can still be worked out. I think we can still sort that out. I think maybe I can put something in here for the storage of all of these kind of bits and pieces, like all of these drawers and things. I think I can set up a storage setup here with a storage network from RF Tools that should connect to all of this if I'm careful, right? So let's see if we can figure that bit out. Okay, so a modular storage drawer, boom, and we go with that. That's very nice and simple, modular storage, but we do need a card for it. So same again with this, and for some reason there's so many chests available. There's so many different types of chests available from all the different types that you can't quite get, like a I've just lost it again, haven't I? You can't quite get it to register vanilla chests. There's no like or dictionary for it, which is a shame. But anyway, it doesn't matter, right? This modular storage here, let's put it up here. I'm going to have it, I think we, do we do it there? Yeah, that's still available. That's good. So that's then in line with this. Yeah, so I didn't really need to put that there. I was going to put it in the middle for a second, but I don't need that. Okay, so this, then I can put a tier 1 storage module in there, and I should be able to put things into that tier 1 storage now. So I don't like how big this is shown. Can I make it smaller? No, I cannot. It's just going to be huge. Compact stacks, yes. Cycle through. Anyone know how to make this normal size? We can make it in grid format or list format, sort by name or other types and groups, right? So that's that. That's okay. We've got that. There is a crafting grid. That's good. And you can store crafting recipes, which is also very good. Very similar to how I've been using the project benches, but the project benches look cool. Or maybe they won't. Maybe I'll have a framing system that goes underneath. I just thought the project benches did look kind of cool. Let me know again in the comments down below if you like that. We need to then put cables around the back here. So I don't think there are any areas that I can just cable through. So we're going to have to go through like this. I didn't really want to go right that middle bit there. I want a white there just in case anything gets put that isn't a full block. So we'll cable down from here and come around this section like this and put that alabaster block back and then go up to this section here. And I'm guessing, but I think that we just need to do something of an export or an import or a chest. Let's have a look at the refined again. So there's going to be some kind of storage thing. Not exporter. Storage monitor. Don't think that's right. External storage. Right, need a couple of chests, need a construction core, destruction core, and an improved processor to go around that. External storage, to me, seems like something that you would connect up to read that storage when you need to. Right, so I need a few bits and pieces for this. Go, just like that. And external storage. So, I don't know if this is going to be working. Because, like I say, I used to applied logistics, but the principle should be the same. It looks like that is not supposed to be connected like that. It looks like it's already got a cable on it. So external storage. So this now has nothing in here, but it has that 8 nether quartz in there. So I should be able to read the nether quartz from there. Yes. So I can take the 8 nether quartz out of that storage, put it back into that storage, and so on. Right. And then read into here and take it all out. So that is a current setup for having a crafting grid here, so I can take all of this stuff out of the project benches now and just deposit it all into here as a storage location for it all. Now I don't want everything in here. I don't want like cobblestone and all that kind of stuff in here. I don't want the alabaster in here, but I do want what I need in here, right? And for things that I need to make, such as cable, right, can I put that into here, yeah, and then kind of store it onto here. So how the cable's made is stored in here now. Other things that we use fairly regular is going to be the external storage. So I'll put that into here and store that. Let's store that towards the end there. An external storage. So I know to make chests and all this kind of stuff. So I'm also going to need a processor. So the process of making processors. The destruction core, for instance. How to make a destruction core. I can store that in there. The destruction core requires me to be able to make this thing, which is that. So I'll put that into there first and store that. And just gives me a lot of quick reference, quick to craft items that can help me get this whole setup working very quickly and up and running super fast. And just mess around with storage networks. I'm going to try and use all 3 storage network devices all at once, because this has a great little crafting and recipe system for certain places, and this has the access to everything you've got ever to draw items out when you're looking into it. I suppose there's going to be a crafting version of that as well. A crafting monitor is for crafting, and there's auto crafting as well. So there's plenty of other bits and pieces to look at later for that one. And this one has some upgrades so we can have more items stored within. This is 17 out of 100 items. I don't think I need much more than that for one of these like little terminals where we can come along and just process certain things for a certain mod. In fact, this is probably better off on this side somewhere. We process things for different mods and just have the ability to create and craft the perfect storage network with everything all plumbed in. It's a shame the portality didn't work, because portality in there, gathering items from distant places and bringing it into the system would be great for quarrying out, organising, sorting and everything else in these setups. Well, that is all I'm going to do for today's episode, folks. So thank you all so very much for watching. I appreciate all your likes, all your comments, and I will see you in the next episode very soon. Don't forget to check out the links in the description and click the notification bell and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.